Hi everybody, welcome back to another video. I know it's been quite a bit of time since I've uploaded last on the channel. Last time I was on the channel, and if you do follow me on Instagram, you already know it's not new news anymore. Last time I was on this channel, I did have an M2. I ended up selling the M2 and ended up picking up a 2001 or an E46 2001 BMW 330i, and the intention of that is to make it a track build. So the reason I sold the M2 was because, as you've seen in a couple videos, I did take the car to the track a few times. Great car for a track, by the way. Great car. Very nimble around the corners. Pretty quick. Very responsive. But the reason I sold that car was because it can be a great car, but it's also a pretty expensive car. When it comes to a car like that, if you don't put down cash, if you don't put down cash and you buy it, you start financing it. And when you finance it, obviously, even if you put cash down, I'm pretty sure you want to get full coverage insurance on it. But your insurance won't cover you. For the most part, your insurance won't cover you if you do have an incident at the track. So they do have clauses within the insurance. So they do have kind of like little disclaimers or parts about your insurance saying that it shouldn't be used for track purposes. It does not cover you for track purposes. So with that being in the way, you have to get this thing called track insurance. You don't have to. At some tracks, they don't check to see if you purchase track insurance. At Autobahn Country Club, they haven't checked for track insurance or anything like that. It's probably a really good idea to get it though, but I didn't get it for my M2, and it was like $400 or $500 for the day. And it would cover the M2 and things like that. So it's pretty expensive for one day of coverage, where you most likely won't get into any incidents or any wrecks or anything like that where you have to use it. So it's always good to have it. I didn't get it, but probably should have had it. The reason I sold it was because it's an expensive car. My insurance doesn't cover it. Probably had to get track insurance, and all three of those factors combined, I was not able to really push the car to the limits or I felt more insecure about pushing the car and really getting the experience out of the car. So I basically decided I wanted to get more out of my track days. Ended up picking up a good car, a good generation. Without further ado, let me start showing you this car. Hello. So here it is. Here is the 2001 330i. I bought it for $1,700 actually, so it's pretty hard to find a 330i, E46 330i for under like $4,000 or anything like that. So the reason it was under $4,000, the reason it was so cheap was because, well, it's not a perfect car, so it's got rust, it's got imperfections. Oh, easy. It's got imperfections, obviously. The wheels they're good wheels, but like they're not in perfect condition when it comes to like cleanliness or upkeep of the wheels. Little lady wants to dance. So here it is. So this engine right here actually is a swap, and it's apples for apples swap. So it's still the M54 engine. But the engine that it came with had 220,000 miles, which is obviously a lot of miles for the purpose of this car. It's gonna be a track car, so I'm gonna be beating up on the engine quite a bit. And then replacing the oil, doing things like that, doing a bunch of like maintenance on the engine to keep it running nice and well at the track. So this engine actually has 89,000 miles, 82 to 89,000 miles. While the engine was out though, we ended up replacing quite a bit of the internals, so I ordered a bunch of parts from FCP Euro. And while things were out, we ended up cleaning the bay, doing a bunch of stuff on it, installing a oil catch can here. This already came with the car. I don't know, I have to figure out what to do with the air filter there. I did end up installing a CSF aluminum race radiator here. Ironically, I drove the car for 10 minutes yesterday, and it started overheating. Like the temperature gauge was all the way at the end, all the way at the top. So I brought this car home, put it in the garage, and the shop thinks that there might be an air bubble within the cooling system. So we're gonna possibly purge that out. The oil pressure indicator kept flickering, which technically indicates low oil pressure. But we just swapped it all out. We swapped out a lot of the hoses and everything like that. So, and then we also, like, the oil pump nut we didn't weld it or anything like that, but we wired it so it doesn't like back out, which is a common like issue with the M54. It's probably not low oil pressure, possibly a bad oil sensor. And those oil sensors I've seen like on YouTube and things like that, it's literally right here somewhere, so might end up just replacing it myself. Also, not sure if you can tell down here, but I did end up going with some aftermarket headers. These are actually just eBay headers. I forgot how much they ran me. They weren't expensive like something that you would order from like Demo World or something like that. But they get the job done. So now I'm gonna focus on dialing the car in, making sure cooling is working fine, making sure that the oil pressure is good. It's got a check engine light because the headers are catless. And I did put a non-fouler or a defouler in there, but it's pretty tight. This engine's pretty big and the engine bay is pretty cramped, so it was really hard to kind of put the non-fouler in there. So I didn't really get rid of the check engine light. I mean, check engine light's still up there. We might just have to code it out. Here in Illinois, they only do OBD2 testing, not actual emissions readings. So they do OBD2 checking. So if we code it out, I might be able to pass it when emissions comes around, or when it comes time to do an emissions inspection on it. So the inside is came with some WeatherTech floor mats. It's got the sports seats on here, which are, for being a 20-year-old car, they're in decent condition. Yeah, obviously there's got some scratches in here. The driver's seat's gonna be a little bit more beat up than the passenger or the back, but the seats are nice. They're heated. It doesn't really matter because I'm gonna just literally rip all this out. I'm gonna take these out, possibly sell them. I'm not sure if I'm going to yet or not. I probably will. I'll probably sell them. But overall, the interior is pretty nice. And again, this is a 2001. And my daily driver is a 2001 Honda Civic, and it's not as, I guess, classy looking as this. This is a very comfortable car to be in for being a 20-year-old car. Very comfortable, very nice. It's got a lot of features for being a 20-year-old car. Again, I like the shift knob. Shift knob's pretty cool. So we got some dents here, which is okay for $1,700 for the full car. Like for the whole car, I wasn't expecting it to be perfect or anything like that. It did come with a sunroof, so I might do a sunroof delete on this. So my dad used to actually work at a body shop. So in springtime, when it gets a little bit warmer, we're going to take care of the rust here. Well, we're going to take care of the whole car when it comes to rust and things like that. So because it's going to be a track car, I don't really care if it's like kind of dinged up a little bit, because it's bound to happen on the track. It's bound to get its fair share of, you know, scuffs and maybe some chips, like rock chips and things like that on the track. But we are gonna like fix this, and we are gonna repaint the whole car. I was gonna get new wheels right off the bat, but that might be something that we have to work into in next season because wheels are pretty expensive. Maybe a new steering wheel. Probably gonna put a roll cage in the back. I did go ahead and pick something up from Arkansas this weekend. It's pretty exciting what I purchased, so I might reveal that a little bit later in another video. Obviously I'm going to reveal it on Instagram, but if I drove all the way to Arkansas to pick this up, it's pretty epic, I think, in my opinion. So stay tuned for that. That's going to wrap it up for today. It's a pretty short video. I just wanted to update the channel on where I'm at, what I picked up, what my plans are for this car, why I sold the car, why I sold the M2. Please follow me on the gram, subscribe to this channel, thumb up the video, and that's going to be the end of this video. So till the next one, take it easy.